In this week's gospel, we hear more parables about the kingdom. We just heard a bunch last week, and now this week we get three more in quick succession. They're these short parables. And it ends with this curious little passage where Jesus asks his apostles, "Do you understand what I've just told you?" And they're like, "Yeah, we get it." I don't know if they fully got it at that point. When you hear those parables, would your answer to that question be, "Yes, I understand this"? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe I understand a little bit. I don't know if I fully get it, right? But then he goes on to say, every scribe instructed for the kingdom of heaven. That's supposed to be you and me, right? The scribes in Jesus' day were the legal experts. They knew their stuff. But Jesus isn't talking about those scribes. He's talking about scribes instructed for the kingdom. That's us. We've gone through some formation, right? We've received the sacraments of initiation. We were prepared for that by some sort of catechesis, right? Our baptism makes us sharers in Jesus' mission of priest, prophet, and king. We're supposed to go out and share that mission. Our sacrament of confirmation anoints us to represent Jesus. St. Paul calls us ambassadors of Christ, right? We are the scribes instructed for the kingdom. So every scribe instructed for the kingdom is supposed to be like a head of a household who can go in the storeroom and sort out the good and the bad, the new and the old, and find something in both to use, right, for this instruction in the kingdom. What does Jesus mean by that? He's referring to the Old Covenant and the New Covenant, the Old Testament and the New Testament, if you will. So we scribes, can we recognize the timeless truths of the Old Testament and how those stories resonate in the New Testament? Do we read the New Testament with regularity to understand Jesus' teaching and his apostles' teaching of it and how the early church understood what Jesus said? Do we mine those things for the gold that we need to do our job as priest, prophet, and king? Or do we just kind of ignore it, right? Jesus calls us to be scribes for the kingdom.